On this week's show, a new patent shows a treadmill rear guard, which could be a possible fix for the Tread Plus.
Plus, new yoga conditioning classes, and there is a ride and run to greatness with Alex Toussaint, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 120 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I am joined by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
120, still going strong. How you feeling, Amanda?
I'm hanging in there. I am ready to get this behind me. And as a friend of mine said, I get my throat slit open, and we'll go from there. So
I thought it was the neck. I thought it was the neck or the back.
No, they actually cut me. They cut me through my throat here in order to get into the. It'll be interesting. But you know what?
You're going to be wearing turtlenecks in Miami for the next several weeks.
I'm telling you. Well, I'll be done. I'm back up in Maryland. I'm getting surgery done in Maryland, so I'm here for a couple of weeks. But yeah, you know what, John? I'm so ready. I'm so ready for it to be behind me. I was saying that I have been in such pain the last few days that honestly, I'm so ready to get it behind me. But I did get to have an amazing 24 hours with our friend Greg Pick, Greg Dawson, and so much fun. I got to share him with my family, and you know, when pedal friends become, you know, real friends, it's amazing. So that was really, really fun, and we had an amazing 24 hours together. So that was very distracting and couldn't have come at a better time. And now, let's get this behind me, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the platform and getting strong and fit again. And I can only hope that I come back stronger and fitter. So I know it'll be a long road, because by the time I get back on, it'll be almost 7 months since I, had a heavy workout. But I'm looking forward to getting back into it and getting on with everybody. But yeah, I got to end my hurrah with a nice 500 walk milestone with Maddie, which was very special.
Which I was on for, which was great.
Thank you.
And he gave you a real great shout out, which, he said he was thinking about you and your
such
upcoming
a sweetheart.
Surgery. Yeah.
He's such a sweetheart. So that was really definitely encouraging, knowing I have such amazing support. But again, this is probably minor in the grand scheme of things with so many people that go through so much. But for me, and obviously just my own angst, it's something I'm looking forward to getting behind me. But with that being said, we do have appreciate you guys tuning in and listening in. And of course, folks, we always like to remind you that before we get started with the news, that you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is recorded on our YouTube channel. Just remember to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yes, and if you're on the go, if you're in the car, you can't watch us, you can always listen to us because we're on all traditional podcast platforms. You search Pelo Buddy TV, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications so you never miss an episode or an update. And please leave us a review. We love the feedback that we receive from you on especially ways we can improve the show and add to it. So keep those coming. We love to read some of those great reviews that we receive from you. So keep them coming.
Of course. And folks, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. At this point, we know that you all subscribe to all of those, but just in case, search for Pelo Buddy, follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, John, I guess let's get on with the show.
All right.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
So, an update on the import ban. Peloton has reportedly designed new video streaming technology for their hardware devices, the Bike, Bike Plus, Tread Plus, the Row, and the Guide, in anticipation of the upcoming U.S. International Trade Commission's import ban, which, if you missed it, we shared about it last week. The makers of NordicTrack, which is the company is called iFit, in relation to an ongoing lawsuit by Dish Network related to this video streaming technology and algorithms that Peloton was apparently using that were trademarked. So the ban would take effect in 60 days. It would prohibit sales, marketing, import of Peloton products that infringe upon Dish's patents. However, a Peloton spokesperson has said that Peloton has been able to update their software with new streaming video technology. And like most other connected devices, we receive these updates periodically on all our hardware, on all the Peloton hardware. Sometimes it'll prompt you to update it. Sometimes it'll just say your software has been successfully updated. But just like updates they do on a regular basis, this has been pushed out, over Wi-Fi, or if your device is connected to the Ethernet hardwired, same way. So hopefully this is the last of it. Hopefully, it's kind of nice that it was so easily taken care of. I guess maybe it was just a simple thing. Maybe they just had to make a little tweak in the software so it wasn't quite infringing upon. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I know we definitely all panicked a little bit when the news first came out. It was like, okay, what does this mean for everybody? What does this mean for Peloton? So it was nice to know that it could come back easily. It's something that they could have an easy fix on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Dish or iFit pushes back and says no, this software, it still infringes upon our design or patent, yada yada. It'll be I wonder what sort of tweak that they made differentiates it now. Because I haven't noticed any. I noticed today there was a couple updates on my Tread and my bike. But it doesn't really say what it's, regards to. It just gives you the build number of whatever version. Yeah. But I didn't notice any difference in streaming or lag or anything like that.
All right, good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, next up, and something that I know a lot of members have been waiting very patiently for, but we can share that a new patent was in fact filed by Peloton for a treadmill rear guard, which could, of course, potentially be used as the fix for the Peloton Tread Plus. So we have all been waiting very anxiously to see what was going to happen. As we know, Peloton stated in the past that their hope was that they would get a rear guard that would be approved by CPSC to fix these safety issues that were obviously an issue in the past. This new feature is designed to prevent injuries that can occur when users accidentally step off the back of the treadmill and could potentially be pulled under. But we do have to remember, though, that this application doesn't actually state whether it's been approved or even reviewed by CPSC yet. The application had initially been filed back in September, but had only become public this week, and of course was discovered by none other than our trusty resource, right, Bob Tremor. Thank goodness we get some of that info from him. But what we can see is that the design would have two separate guards, one flexible guard on the outside, separated via a small gap from a larger, more rigid guard that it mentions also would have a design preventing fingers from pinching fingers in the back there, or otherwise allowing objects to get stuck. It also states that it could be designed with a combination of rubber and bristles, and could work in combination with mechanisms to shut off or slow down the treadmill in certain scenarios. Again, important to remember that any of these solutions have to be approved by the CPSC, which does tend to be a rather slow process. But we think that Peloton has repeatedly mentioned a rear guard being the solution, that it seems like a pretty important step in Peloton being able to bring the tread back onto the market. So, John, I think for those folks that have held out, it may have been worth it, because maybe we'll see something happening in the not too distant future. So this seems to be coming up more and more as opposed to us not hearing anything about it.
And I'm curious, I would think they would have to have a representative or third-party installer come and place it on, I guess, as part of to validate.
Correct.
So I guess it's probably not as simple as sending it to you in the mail and you pop it on yourself. So,
Right.
which makes sense. They would want somebody to come do it, verify that it was actually installed on everyone's device, I guess, going forward once it's back on the market. Right. Well, I guess I don't know how much closer we are for it to be going back online. I feel like now we're approaching the 2-year mark that it's been off the market. I know a lot of people have given up at this point that we're holding out, but maybe this year, maybe this is the year.
That we'll see it finally come back on. Who knows?
Feels like we're actually closer now with this update than we were before. So
Right.
Well, changing gears a little bit, the Ride to Greatness is now back for season 3, but now it's the Ride Run to Greatness because now it's also taking place on the Tread. Also, Ride to Greatness jerseys are back in stock in the Apparel store. If you haven't had a chance to pick one up in previous seasons when they first put them up for sale on the website on the Peloton Apparel. But Peloton this past week just officially announced season 3, the Ride to Greatness, with a new twist. Now that Alex is teaching on the Tread, in addition to the bike, it will be known as Ride Run to Greatness, and it's going to be on both platforms. So Alex, he'll be on both the bike and the Tread, which is, Peloton's only competition series, now entering the 3rd season. The training is on Wednesday, so that's kind of like your practice session. And then the actual competition, when it counts, based on the overall total output versus team activate, team validate, that will take place on Saturdays. So there's a training session coming up on March 22nd on the bike. Then the competition on the bike is the following Saturday, the 25th. And then on the 29th, the following week, there's a training session on the Tread, and then on Saturday, April 1st, will be the competition for the Tread. So it's 4 total classes, 2 on the bike, 2 on the Tread. Previous seasons, we had like multiple rounds. I feel like the first season, there was at least 3 rounds.
Right, I remember that.
But yeah, this is like a winner take all for the bike and Tread, 1 round, 1 session. Now, the practice rounds on Wednesdays take place at 7 p.m. for the Ride that Wednesday. It is to be announced on Wednesday, the 29th for the Tread. I would imagine it's probably in the evening as well, although at the time of recording, we don't have the time yet. But Saturday, Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern, thank you. The game ride on the bike is Saturday, the 25th, 12 Eastern. Saturday, April 1st, the game run. We don't have the time yet. I assume it's probably similar time, probably around noon Eastern as well on Saturday the 1st. But to join, so if you're gonna do this, you have to pick a side. Okay, you can't be one of those people that is in the ride or the run that doesn't have a tag for team activate or team validate, because if you don't have that tag and set as your primary tag, your output is not going to help your team. You're not doing any good. You're not helping them. You need to choose a side. You need to choose team validate, because that's Jenn Sherman's side. I was team activate, but I have to switch over, and validate is one. Yeah, validate won the first season. They probably won the second season as well. How do you join? You just add one of those tags. So if you go into, and you got to make sure you have an available tag, or you have to drop one of yours, because I believe the limit is 9 tags per leaderboard name. And I'm going to have to temporarily drop one of mine because I'm maxed out. But you just have to type in that tag and search for it. The hashtag team activate or team validate, it'll pop up. Got to make that your primary. Don't forget, very important. So when you do the competition ride or run, your output counts. So I guess, on the practice ride, if you forget, it's not a big deal, but you still want to be out there representing your team. Validate. But Team Activate, they've already have their captains. Like I said, Jenn Sherman, the OG, she is Team Validate. Jess Sims is representing Team Activate. And, with the announcement, they Peloton put out this funny little sort of mock press conference with Jenn Sherman and Jess Sims, sitting like at a press conference table with the Peloton Studios backdrop. And they were like friendly, going back and forth, making jabs at each other. And Jenn Sherman's throwing Jess Sims quotes, back in her face, "No ego, amigo." We calling her "okay glazed donut," which I thought she was way too nice. I kidded her a direct message saying you held back way too much. You could have, you could have thrown some you could have been a little nastier. But it was fun, and it's fun to see the instructor captains there.
I think that House Pruitt may be divided too, with a Jess Sims. Isn't Jackie a big Jess? Yeah.
Jess can do no wrong in Jackie's eyes, so Jackie.
And Jen can do no wrong in yours.
Yeah.
And Jen, so it's going to be a house divided. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to.
So that'll be fun. We can ride together for the ride, but obviously I get the tread for the run.
For the run. Yeah, well, that's going to be fun. It's always nice to see, and everyone gets so into it. I love seeing, the diehards really get into it, and I think having Jen and Jess, as captains, definitely is adding a nice dimension to it all. I think that folks are excited about that.
And if for anyone watching or listening that's never done it before, on game day, I assume they'll have this little plasma screen, on a stand set up next to the tread. But normally in the past on game day, they have a little screen sort of off to the side where Alex is on the stage, and they'll periodically, the camera will cut to it, and you'll see the current score between both teams to see who's currently in the lead. And so it's kind of nice, because it's usually pretty close. It's pretty neck and neck. But yeah, Team Validate has definitely got the edge in past seasons.
Nice. All right. Well, if you aren't on the bike or the tread and you prefer to be on the mat, for all the yoga lovers out there, Peloton are definitely putting out a ton of effort into keeping us all busy. They have just launched another new yoga class format called yoga conditioning, which will add light weights and repetition to build stronger and more confident practice. The classes will be taught, from what we can see for now, by Kristen McGee and Mariana Fernandez, but we think that perhaps H.E.R Michelle, for sure H.E.R Michelle, so it's Kristen Ferguson, Mariana Fernandez, and H.E.R Michelle, who will be the coaches. And the program was actually kicked off with a special 30-minute 2-for-1 just this past Wednesday, March 15th. That particular one was taught by Kristen and Mariana. These conditioning classes will mark the first time that light weights have been utilized in a yoga class. So this is definitely something new and different, but a wonderful way for folks to incorporate both some of this, light strength training. We're not talking about heavy weights here. We're talking about light weights that they're utilizing, in conjunction with their with the yoga practice. And then staying in the yoga in the yoga world, a new collection has also been dedicated to the morning focused yoga and meditation classes. And this is called Good Morning Peloton. These classes are designed to be energizing and uplifting, and making them truly the perfect way to start your day, and incorporate both movement and breathing to help wake you up and get you ready for the day ahead. The best part is that they're only 30 minutes long, so 20 minutes yoga and 10 minutes meditation. And now in this collection, they are really easy to find. But also, folks, easy to fit into your morning routine. So it's something that you can do. Now, I know that DT always did a combo on a Tuesday morning. It's just been moved to a Monday. Kristen had her day. Now you guys can head straight into the collection and find them all there. There are about 219 classes in the collection at the moment. But now, we know that it's going to grow pretty quickly. As I said, there are numerous morning yoga classes that appear on the schedule routinely. But yeah, it's just a nice, easy way for members to be able to find those, if they're not doing them live, by being in that collection.
Pull them up.
It's always a great way. Yeah.
That's
so really great.
Well, we had St. Patrick's Day on Friday, and in honor of that, on March 17th, we had 4 St. Patrick's Day classes. One took place live from PSNY, and one was offered in German. We have the complete list on pelobuddy.com, but we got a live 20-minute St. Patrick's Day walk with Jocelyn Thompson Rule. That was on the morning of the 17th. An on-demand 20-minute St. Patrick. A 20-minute St. Patrick's Day run with Tobias Hines in German. That dropped on demand as well on the 17th. Also on that same day, Kristen McGee dropped on demand a 20-minute St. Patrick's Day Pilates. Oh, it was live. Oh, well, I copy. I don't know. It said on demand there, control room. I just copy and pasted what was on there, but okay. That was live apparently, even though the write-up says there was one live. Oh, Jocelyn. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the Pilates class was the live one, not Jocelyn's walk. My bad. And then we had a 30-minute St. Patrick's Day ride with Christine that dropped on demand as well on the afternoon of the 17th. And unfortunately, we don't anticipate a St. Patrick's Day badge for this one, as there has not been one in the past for previous St. Patrick's Day classes.
Yeah.
But always got to give a plug for pelobuddy.com and the comprehensive, complete list of badges, both past and present, that are out there or that you can currently earn, with current challenges.
I'm actually surprised, John, that those St. Patty's Day, especially in New York, weren't live, that they didn't do more live classes, especially since it's such a, New York-centric holiday. They love to celebrate St. Patty's Day in New York. I'm surprised that they didn't do any live, having, members dress up. And actually, not only do I mean live, but I actually meant members, being a Friday and doing dressing up in the Irish, get-ups in green and doing all of that. So I'm sure there was tons that happened this weekend at the studios. I'm sure they did some stuff, in the studios, but that we can certainly report on next week.
I can't help but think
when we go to air. Yeah.
I can't help but think, if Daniel McKenna were still with Peloton, we would have probably had some real fun,
I think
Daniel
so.
shenanigans with the Irish Yanks.
Yeah.
So just.
And maybe that's why
tear.
they chose. Yep. And maybe that's why they chose not to do anything live or with members. But you're right. I think that if Daniel had still been there, maybe there would have been a strength class or a run on the tread, with him, which would have been. I can't remember last year if there was, but maybe there was. Anyway, moving on. March's Women's History Month continues with another new artist series featuring H.E.R. The series was launched on Instagram stating, "Move to the poetic sounds of H.E.R. and celebrate her creativity in every kind of way." So this series was launched this past Thursday, the 16th. And as we mentioned to you in a couple shows previously, the artist series have now moved to Thursdays because that way they can incorporate classes in the studio with members, because Thursdays now folks are in fact in the studios as well. This particular H.E.R. artist series included 7 classes across 5 modalities. 3 of those classes were actually conducted in German. So there's a 15-minute core strength with Asal, a 20-minute full body strength with Germain, a 30-minute bike boot camp with Cliff Dwenger, a 30-minute ride with Mila Lazar, a 30-minute run with Hannah Frankson, and a 30-minute yoga flow with Anna Greenberg. And then to top it all off, Tunde had a 30-minute ride. As I said, while most of these classes took place live, 2 of them were premieres. Now, we'd spoken about that on the show before as well. As you know, when you go online, you can see whether a class is encore or in fact live, where the instructor is giving it to you at that moment. 2 of these classes were premieres, which meant that the classes actually dropped in the on-demand library at the same time as the first ever encore. So they had never been seen before, and they came in as this premiere. So I guess they're trying something new to see if more folks jump on it that way versus doing an encore, which maybe had, kind of dropped at another point, etc. So yeah, that is the this week's artist series.
Probably get a more packed leaderboard if a lot of people join in at the same scheduled time as the premiere.
Exactly.
I've been noticing that too. But I immediately thought it was pre-recorded. It was just it was the premiere of the on-demand recording.
Of the on-demand recording, exactly.
Well, Mayla Wedekind had her premiere run. She recently added the tread to her modality portfolio. She's been, teaching on the bike since she joined the Peloton team in December of 2020. But she had her 20-minute premiere run. It was in the evening, London time, 5 p.m. London time on Wednesday, March 15th. I looked at the thumbnail. I could see people in the studio, but I couldn't tell if that was John Hosking right there in the little corners or another instructor. I couldn't quite make it out.
I think some of the German instructors were on there. I don't believe John was on there. I do not believe that he was on there.
Yeah, someone was wearing a long sleeve Peloton shirt. I thought it might be.
Yeah,
Hosking,
I don't think so.
Okay.
But they had staff, they had Peloton staff. I think Wednesdays they try and stick to, staff being employees in there. So they were employees, and some of the German instructors were in there.
I'm sure they wanted to, fill it up either way. Get some warm bodies in there in support of her. But she also had a couple classes that dropped on demand that day as well. So there's some additional tread content from her already. There's a 20-minute house run and a 10-minute cool down run that also dropped on demand on the 15th as well. So we're already getting a little few classes for Mayla on the tread built up in the library there. Peloton first teased the news of her addition to the tread team last week. Currently, she's the only female tread instructor to teach in German. Peloton's first female German tread instructor, Marina Andreessen, I think I'm pronouncing it right, was only with the company for a very short time before she departed in 2021. But Mayla joins her teammates Tobias, Jeffrey McEachern, Marcel Maurer, all of whom teach running classes in German from PSL.
Nice, good. We're excited to see her on there, and hopefully she will become quite popular with the German crew. All right, well, we know how much everybody loves their badges, and Peloton is now officially rolling out personal best badges. So these are badges that are awarded when you achieve your fastest time traveling certain distances. And for now, these seem to be limited just to the tread. We had first reported this earlier that this year that personal best badges were being trialed for certain distances, for example, 1K or 1 mile and 5K. But now Peloton has added additional distances and have added a section to a support page to officially notify members of this feature. So you'll be able to get a badge for 10 kilometers and a half marathon and a full marathon as well. These will be awarded when you complete a particular distance in the fastest amount of time to date on the tread. The support page also confirms that the badges will appear on a member's workout history for that particular workout, but not on the complete achievements page. Also interesting to note is that there are not separate personal best badges for runs versus walks. It hasn't been confirmed yet whether outdoor audio runs will earn members this badge. Of course, you know that we will update you once we have confirmation either way, but just bear that in mind if you are seeking to get one of these badges. It is purely through the Tread right now and runs. So, or I mean, if you do a walk and you just run it, you'll be able to get a good time. You'll be able to get that badge too.
There you go. Gotta love those folks who do the runs on walking classes, right?
Exactly. I haven't done that in a long time, Pruitt. Cut me a break. I can't wait to be running and walking classes again.
Well, are you one of the lucky people that got your hands on some Jess Sims Saturday 60 apparel? Because it apparently went really fast. There was an apparel drop for Jess. I think there's 4 pieces, and it was tied to a PSNY event that we had talked about a couple episodes ago that happened over a weekend. And there were a few different items. There was a cool down hoodie, which I've seen a lot of both male and female instructors wearing with matching sweatpants. And there was also a twist back bra and some mid-rise leggings. I didn't really hear, like a few people messaged me and just said they weren't really crazy about any of these pieces, despite them selling out in about 8 minutes. But the instructors all seem to love posting in their sweats, in their matching sweatpants and sweatshirts.
They get them for free, so it makes it easier for them to be able to post about it. But I have to tell you, I'm going to give my 2 cents here. You know, I don't get the concept of what Peloton are trying to do from that perspective. They create this frenzy over certain stuff, and then they sit with tons of stuff on their website, you know, of their regular apparel. And it goes back to that whole, inclusivity aspect of wanting everyone to be inclusive. Why the frenzy? If people want the merchandise, have the merchandise available for the people to buy it. You know, it just doesn't, there's definitely a disconnect there that I think is frustrating members across the platform. I'm hearing a lot of chatter because, the same happened with, Kendall's knockout stuff. And what was the last thing that happened? Something else that was released. Callie.
And it was re-released though.
It was re-released. So maybe Jess's stuff will come out,
a small re-release,
in a couple of weeks. All right, so Jess has teased a release that will come out now. So maybe that was just for those. But again, where's that inclusivity? I mean, if just the folks that are at her event or are there are only able to get it then and kind of, boast that they have it. With the instructors, it's a different story. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. It's just what folks have been sharing with me and asked my opinion. I've been so removed over the last few weeks. I have to say that I don't really have an opinion because it's just hard to when you aren't in the thick of things. So when I come back in June, I'm going to have an opinion about everything. But for now, I'll just keep my mouth shut.
I feel like I feel like they can also just create this artificial demand, this frenzy when they only make a limited amount. And then maybe they do that because they want to see how well it does initially. And then they can create more pieces based on those initial figures. It was kind of like the Ivy Park collection, which I thought was trash.
Right. Never came back. That didn't come back. So who knows? Anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that because folks had shared it with me. And hey, we have the platform to be able to do that. So figured why not say something. All right. Well, if you have Verizon, you're in luck and you're looking to buy a Tread or maybe you want to upgrade your bike to a Bike Plus. Verizon have collabed with Peloton and they are offering members a discount on the Bike Plus and the Tread. So you can now get $200 off the bike, $250 off the Bike Plus, and $300 off the Tread. Access to this promotion is via the Verizon app or website. If you go to the promo section, this will generate a unique code for the discount, and it'll auto show up when you actually go into your checkout and you click and add it to your cart. For folks, if you are looking at utilizing this promotion, it is only valid until March 31st. So make sure you jump on that. But there have been so many discounts and stuff lately that,
lots
this
of
is
deals.
Yeah, definitely lots of deals, as you're about to tell us.
Yeah, well, why don't we stay on the deals? And right now, there's a discount on refurbished Peloton bikes. Not on the Plus, just on the Peloton, the original Peloton bike. It's $150 off. Normally, it's $1,145 for the refurbished bike. Currently, it's now $995, and it's only going on for the next 2 weeks. The sale ends April 2nd. Peloton was sending out emails to select folks to make them aware of the offer, but you can go on Peloton's website. It comes with the same, warranty. You can add an additional warranty to it, just like if you were to buy the hardware brand new. And then there was a pretty deep discount. It was labeled as a clearance deal on the sale retailer Woot.com. The Peloton bike was on there, marked off about 27% off from the normal price of $1,445. It was on sale for $1,049.99. I checked it today, and it was it had already been sold out. It probably sold out that morning as soon as it posted, but you don't usually see it for on sale that low.
Wow.
So I'm curious if anybody got that deal that didn't have a bike already.
Yeah, wow, that's huge. I'm seeing here Control Room was saying that it's owned by Amazon. I wasn't aware of that. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, and it was labeled as a clearance deal, so I don't know if they were just trying to get rid of
some stock that they had. Or...
Yeah.
All right. Well, some birthdays. So our friend Sam Yo celebrated his birthday on Thursday, the 19th. Marcel Dinkins had a birthday on Friday, the 17th. And our friend Jeffrey McEachin celebrated his birthday on Saturday, the 18th. So just yesterday. So happy birthday to the instructors. Hope you guys all had
happy birthday to my German tread boo, Jeffrey.
And Jeffrey's listening, so happy birthday to you.
Lots of love.
As he has fun in Barcelona.
I'll be back. I'll be back in London in September, so I'll see.
We know.
I'll see you then.
We know. I'll be there before you. I'll be there in May.
It won't be as well. It'll be different. I wouldn't say it won't be as fun, but
it will be different.
Just be me. Yeah. Be Jackie and Jackson.
It will definitely be a different trip. All right. Well, let's go straight into instructor in the news and your other boo.
All right. So Cody, let me pull up my notes here. Yes, my boo Cody. So obviously it has been a busy year for Peloton instructors and becoming authors, putting out books. And Cody recently shared, he was writing a book, and he made the official announcement just recently on social media. His book will comes out September 12th. It's available for sale on Amazon.com. We have an affiliate link on PeloBuddy.com, and we always appreciate that if you purchase things through Pelo Buddy, because it obviously helps pay for the website. But it's $27 for the hardcover, and I was just looking at the listing. It's called XOXO Cody, an opinionated homosexual's guide to self-love, relationships, and tactful pettiness. And the description says, the beloved Peloton instructor chronicles his journey from small-town North Carolina to New York, stardom, in an empowering story that reveals his secret to success, not taking yourself or life too seriously. It says Cody has a lot of opinions. Kevin is the hottest Backstreet Boy. Grape jelly is a crime against nature. If you wear flip-flops in New York City, you do not love yourself. But if there's one opinion, one truth that he holds above all others, it's that we shouldn't let the fear of looking stupid or being judged hold us back from living our best lives. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. I will definitely read this. It'll be great if I hope he records it in his voice for an audiobook, because I think that would be fun too.
To hear him read
version.
it.
I mean, I have Tunde's book, and I still have not cracked it yet.
Yeah, and interestingly enough,
sitting
I
there.
got Tunde's. I did get a copy of hers, but I also got it on audio. And
Audio.
I remember last summer, Nicole and I listened to it driving, the drive from Miami up to DC. And it passed a lot of those hours, but it was awesome to get to hear it. And it was in her voice. So it was really, really awesome to get to hear
I
it.
should just listen to it because there's so many more opportunities for me to listen to a book on tape than to
sit and read it. Agreed.
Yeah. And if it's in her voice, it'd be great to hear her reading it. So
you look into that because it really was awesome, and I loved hearing her story. All right, well, Ali Love has certainly been very busy this week. She was first seen on the Today Show talking about the new dance competition that she hosts on Netflix called Dance 100. Ali literally left PSNY having taught 3 classes to walk on set with the co-hosts of the Today Show. I don't know how that chick does it, but she does it. She is truly superwoman when it comes to being able to, do things and
hosting the Brooklyn Nets.
Move and shake. I know, move and shake.
She's got a lot of irons in the fire.
So she talks about this show, Dance 100. The show airs this month. In fact, it dropped just this past Friday, the 17th. It has 100 dancers vying to win $100,000. Ali shares that these dancers are some of the best in the world. And the catch on the show, John, is that they judge each other and decide who stays and who goes. So there's no outside celebrity judges. It's basically the dancers and Ali. So it starts out with 100 dancers. Ali is the, kind of the host of the whole show, and they determine within themselves as to who they think is, should stay and who should go. So that was really cool to hear about. And I did not obviously get a chance to watch it on Friday, but I'm sure that it's one that's going to be fun to watch. I love dancing shows, so that'll be awesome. Ali was also asked about her new title, and I wanted to throw this in here. So her new title at Peloton, which is Global Lead of Instructors Strategic Initiatives. And she goes on to explain that she is the intermediary between the instructor team and the partnering teams at Peloton. So she was also asked if she continues to plan to teach classes, and she said absolutely, she's able to do all of it. So that was kind of funny to hear her say. She actually interviews incredibly well, and she is just amazing to sit and listen to, and is so confident. And it was a great interview to get to hear. Later on that day, though, which I didn't get a chance to see, she went on to appear in the ABC show The View and got to sit at the table with the co-hosts. Now that, unfortunately, I hadn't gotten to see yet because that was, the whole show, and I hadn't had a chance to see that. But definitely feeling the love with Ali Love this past week. That's for sure. Good for Ali.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if they get one of those heated discussions like they do sometimes on The View with Ali, or if they throw, if it's like cream puff softball topics.
Right.
Sometimes they can really, when like Whoopi was on the show back in the day, Rosie O'Donnell, and Elizabeth Hasselbeck, they would like spar, they would go at it at times.
Oh my goodness!
I think it's kind of toned down now since Sharon is gone and
Whoopi is Whoopi still on there? And Whoopi's not still on there, is she? No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Rosie's not on there. Whoopi's not. Who is
all
on there?
new?
All new people, right? Yeah, it's been
crew.
years. It's been years since I've seen that. All right.
Well, Logan Aldridge, he recently spoke to the Cincinnati Reds baseball team. He had posted on Instagram this past week, kind of like a little sizzle reel, which had some audio bites, I guess, of him speaking to the team. And he captioned it with, "Honored to have been invited out to the Reds' final week of preseason training to speak to the team and share my story and keynote." He said, "Decide, commit, succeed. The power of choice and how to face any challenge head on. Incredible coaches, staff, and players." So hopefully we'll see some more snippets from that he shares on social media soon. And I know it's not on the docket, but I just listened to a really good Jenn Sherman podcast appearance that she did on the Dear Founder podcast, because she had shared it on her Instagram stories with her friend Lindsay Pachunk. She's been on that podcast before, but this one was fun because it was talking all about her getting over her fears of social media. You know, she'd recently shared that she's branching out and she's trying to do Insta Reels, which she just started doing. But it was good. Lindsay was kind of coaching her on different things to sort of increase engagement with her followers, with the members, different things she can do in her Instagram stories, like asking the Q&A or asking a poll question. Jen had recently solicited for music recommendations for her 60-minute 80s ride that went down this morning. And then she recently shared just a whole scroll of some of the suggestions. But it was different. It wasn't, Lindsay started out saying, like, we know the whole Jenn Sherman story. We're not going to, get back into that. So it was really all about her social media, kind of what she's been up to, with TikTok. She loves going on TikTok, but she's not ready to post there. So we were just, talking all about the Instagram strategy. So it was kind of fun seeing her, how she's been kind of getting into it and getting more comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. All right, good. Well, I guess that does roll us right into picks of the week. And I guess, John, I will have you roll it out.
Yes. All right. So first up, Beck Gentry's 30-minute country run from March 9th. This was her first run back. Yes. We got this from Ojo Diesel, Chaos for All, Katie W0511, and Mamathoner and eCamp 1017. They said, Beck's welcome back run. Amazing to have her back, and her first country playlist, too. And then Selena's 20-minute rock run from March 9th from our friend Bertha C. Runs MD. This was a pre-recorded drop, but worth seeking out. Classic Selena, great playlist, solid pushes and progressions, made me miss her. So I was curious if this was post-pregnancy, but this sounds like something she recorded when she was still pregnant.
Okay.
A couple months back. And then Jenn Sherman's 30-minute WHN, Women History Month, epic sing-along ride from the 10th. We got a lot of members submitted this one. Alana Ford, Deb Cohen, Kathy Beans, Rachel Spins, 24, Care Blue, Shannon, 78mm, Key Hill, 84, Mama Simsy, Valdezi, TC, Wicked, Jersey, RX Girl, 692, Heather Black, Tough, Tiff, Sweats. I think this is the most people that have submitted a Jenn Sherman class. Wow. They said one of the best classes ever. The playlist and overall energy was amazing. Great seeing all the fellow instructors in the class and them feeding off each other. I loved, the interaction. Like Kendall was there in the front row, Kristen, Hannah Corbin, who else? Callie was there.
Marcel and Kendall sat next to each other.
Yeah. And Jen constantly kept saying Kenny. It just felt like I was getting it felt like she was shouting out Kenny Bandy the whole time. It was great. It felt like she was talking to me.
Make it about you.
You're right. Yeah. Back to me.
That's too funny. Yeah, no, I will say I did cheat, and I did take a look at it because it just seemed like so much fun. I was not missing out on it. So while I wasn't physically on the bike, I was there in spirit and high-fiving and cheering everybody on, but I was not missing that. And I think that may be my comeback ride. So when I'm finally allowed on the bike, because I have to say, I think that was probably one of the best classes ever. I mean, so much fun. Jen was on top form and really, really amazing. So that is definitely going to be one that I would love to be able to do. All right, moving on. Next up is Alex Toussaint. Alex had a 30-minute club bangers ride. From the 11th, Kathy M19 recommended this one. They said, Alex is so good with people in the studio. He really feeds off of the energy. Bradley Rose, 20-minute indie rock ride. This was from the 12th. H.E.R 3 had picked this one as their pick of the week. Amazing playlist with The Killers, Franz Ferdinand, The Strokes, and more. And then the 2-for-1, Jess Sims and Kirsten Ferguson's 30-minute Women's History Month 2-for-1 walk plus run. This one was recommended by A Fit Cookie, Crown of Jewels, Bertha C. Runs MD, Dippin' Dot 22. They all said all the feels and all the love. Their friendship and support of each other was incredible to see. And the message of Women's History Month was lovely. It was so empowering to see two women co-workers thoughtfully lifting each other up and cheering each other on. And the music was amazing.
And we also got a submission from A Fit Cookie on the row, Ash Pryor's 20-minute intervals row from the 13th. She said, great workout with a good amount of challenging and some max intervals thrown in there. And then Allie Love's 30-minute 80s ride from the 13th as well. Got this from the Love Squad Peloton. They said the whole class was such a vibe. And then Hannah Corbin's 30-minute bar class from H.E.R 3. She said this had a great lower body section in it.
Awesome. And then I like these extra 10. So this one is recommended by, two, Amber Joy and Steph with an F. Emma Lovewell's extra 10 climb ride. That dropped on the 13th. They said great workout to round out a morning of classes with. Camilla Ramon's 30-minute 90s ride, also from the 13th. This one was picked by Sam Cush, and they said fun playlist and great energy. And H.E.R 3 has been very busy. Both H.E.R 3 and Jason D, our friend Jason Denberg, recommended Callie Galaxon's 20-minute pop punk full body strength. It was from the 13th, and they said great lower body and core sections and awesome pop punk songs from women artists.
And Bertha C. Runs MD gave us Katie Wong's 45-minute pop row boot camp from the 13th. She said, don't let the thumbnail pic fool you. She times her puns with the beat drops perfectly, but she'll also kill you with the max pushes and her savage floor sections. and then Hannah Frankson's 30-minute intervals and arms from the 14th. Got this from Sarita Cheetah and Eric Rides PPC. They said great music and energy from Hannah in this one. And then Adrian Williams, 30-minute strength roll call, glutes and legs from the 14th. Jenny, Carlene, and I Am Kimmy Ho submitted this. Great workout, and you're really going to feel the burn after this one.
Awesome. And then we got mine. This is my pick of the week, my final walk on the tread before I went under the knife, or am going under the knife. It was Maddie's 20-minute 90s pop walk. I wasn't alone. I am so pleased to see that Think 55 and Fupa to Fabulous, who celebrated 150 walks and got an awesome shout out from Maddie, was told that he had the best leaderboard name on the platform that morning. But oh my God, John, I know that you were on it too, and Maddie's selection of music was so fantastic for that walk. He had Supergrass's All Right, he had Salt and Pepper's Push It, he had Aaliyah's Are You That Somebody, he had Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana, and he put in Fotos y Recuerdos, which was Selena's last song that she recorded. Yeah, that she had.
I remember him mentioning
beautiful. Which was absolutely beautiful. Obviously, for me, it was a very special walk because he did give me it was my 500th walk, and he gave me an amazing shout out. So jump on that one if you want to hear Seglo 3 or Seglo 3 getting shouted out.
Well deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you. I was pretty proud of myself getting to 500 walks. That was awesome. I love my walks. Love them. when I'm walking. And then Mayla Tread, her 20-minute premier run from the 15th was picked by Roger F83. They said, great to have Mayla on the tread now. And rounding off this week's pick of the weeks is the two beauties, Kristen McGee and Mariana Fernandez, with their 30-minute Women's History Month 2-for-1 yoga conditioning. And this one was recommended by so many folks. I'm so thrilled. Mexi Cali Girl, Jessica Lee 23, Active Erin Manis, Carly Cooper 626, A. Wallace, S.S. Lester, Miller Family 20, Gia Mamacita, Speedy Perez, Amazing Grace 323. Wow, that's amazing, guys. Great combo of both yoga and strength. Also felt like a combo of yoga and bar, and their connection was great. How can you not have a connection with two unbelievable yoga instructors? Although Kristen McGee and I need to have a chat. She does not know how to say my leaderboard name, and she butchered
What did she say?
She literally said SEGLG3. She couldn't say Siglo 3 or Siglo 3.
She didn't say Sergio like Samuel.
She didn't say Sergio, but then she proceeded to say 1,600 meditations. She needs to wear her glasses. You know how Jen Sherman always moans about not being able to see. So it was 1,400 meditations, and we'll just soldier on. We hit that little one. We didn't share it on social, and we'll do. Believe you me, I'll be reaching 1,500 meditations very quickly. With my making sure I get my blue dots. I told Mark that when I go from the hospital, he better make sure that the app is on so that I can put that meditation on and get my blue dot on the day of surgery. We're not missing any blue dots.
Kristen and I are very close in, the direct messaging. We're very friendly messaging back and forth. So I could always educate her if you want.
You need to educate her. She's lovely, and she's done the same with me. And we have a mutual friend, a beautiful soul, Jessie Bennett, that's out of California, and we're mutually friendly. I forgot to tell Jessie about it, but I didn't want to embarrass. I didn't want to embarrass her. But maybe you can say to her, just P.S. My co-host on Pelo Buddy, you need to fix her leaderboard name because she won't do any milestones with you. Anyway, all right, folks. So I guess that pretty much wraps up the show. I know we didn't have too much for you, but it seemed like there was enough. So I thank you for tuning in. I know some of you weren't sure if I was going to be on this week or not, but since we do record a little before it gets aired, it was a good distraction for me, knowing that I was going to jump off the record and only have a couple hours before I had to deal with this surgery. So looking forward to hopefully coming back in a couple weeks and be fit and stronger and ready to take on the platform, and looking forward to seeing you all there. So thank you everybody for the support and for the love and for just the amazing community that is out there. And so for me here in Maryland, see you all soon, folks.
And I know I'm not alone when I speak for everyone that's watching and listening, Amanda. We're all going to be thinking of you when you have this surgery, and you'll be back stronger, healthier than ever. But I'll be thinking of you, obviously, when you go under the knife. And please keep us all posted, and we'll hold down the fort in the meantime.
Thank you.
We're not getting rid of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maddie told me I've got this. So between Maddie and Jeffrey and John, my little cheering team on the sidelines, and you, I really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So from me in Michigan, thank you once again for tuning in, watching, and listening from all over. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.